Hey peeps, this is the second part of the Inside Star Citizen Art of Refinement. We're going to talk, or I'm doing a reaction to. I did the reaction to the first part of the refinement. Now I'm doing weapon zeroing, which is interesting. I didn't even know this was going to be a mechanic, and like it just blows my mind. I used to be in the army, right? So I had to zero weapons all the time. Um, like my M4 and stuff like that. But like I'm like this. There's weapon zeroing. Like it just adds like more to the game. Like I don't even know what the mechanic is yet, but like just like having a brain thought about it of like this, you know, what like you want to and the thing is that it might it just adds more like flavor to the world, right? You don't need the weapons zeroing, like you don't need it. But the thing is that they're putting it in because attention to detail, and also they want everybody to be able to do some stuff, right? Like a marine or like somebody that's specializes themselves in ground combat, right, is gonna really kind of sink their teeth into this and zero all the weapons and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you can zero weapons for other people. Theoretically, it doesn't make sense because in real life you can't zero weapons for other people because that's like the that like zeroing weapon is zeroing a weapon to your eye, ish. But yeah, it's just interesting. So here we go.
Let's look now at how weapon zeroing is being used to provide better agency to snipers across the galaxy.
Say I'm on a hilltop somewhere and I'm looking down my scope. If I'm shooting at someone 100 meters away, it generally wouldn't be too much of an issue. But if you start to get to 500 meters, a kilometer, or even further, then you really need to start countering that, and you will need some assistance the further and further away you get, and that's where weapon zeroing comes in.
Huh, okay.
One of the best and most unique things about Star Citizen is the biggest challenge to any FPS game, and that is the amount of varied environments that we have. So if you think about it, if you go to a different planet or a different moon, the pull of gravity is always going to be different, the environment's going to be completely different, the weather even might be completely different. Trying to counter those effects and knowing how to counter all of those effects no matter where you are is obviously very difficult. And
that's very interesting to think about, because that is like a nightmare for like programming and design, because of the like you said, just all the different things, like being on Microtech, right, with his freaking crazy winter craziness, and one part is super windy, and if you're fighting in combat on the ground, it's gonna suck because like the wind's gonna push the bullets a little bit. But then on the same planet you have like a nice little green area, right, that like terraforming was good, and you can fight there, and then it's just a different thing. So just super interesting.
to those effects, and knowing how to counter all of those effects no matter where you are is obviously very difficult, and especially with the amount of varied weapons that we have, so different types of projectile, laser, ballistic, they all have different effects in different conditions. So in patch 3.12 we'll be introducing weapon zeroing. Our first offering includes 4 times and upward scope, so you'll be able to use those on your LMGs, your rifles, and your sniper rifles. There are 3 different types of scopes with zeroing on. So we have the most basic version of the scope, which is just the zeroing scope, is generally, I think, will be picked up by more experienced players who kind of know combat ranges that they're going to be in. They can set their scope to that and not have to worry about it anymore. So say if you're in the Crossroads of Crime map in Theatres of War, you know your engagement distance is roughly 100 meters generally. You can set your scope to that and not have to worry about it again, and it's no faff.
Oh, okay.
The next version up is essentially that with a bit of assistance with the rangefinder. So this will be better for kind of, I guess, environments that you're less familiar with, but you still want that personal control over where you're setting your zeroing distance to. So if you're sitting out on a hill on a planet somewhere, you know that people are going to be getting out of their ships at this station and you want to take them out, then you can set your zeroing distance to that distance with the assistance of the rangefinder, and you don't have to worry about it again, you don't have to change it. The auto-zeroing is probably the most user-friendly version, especially beginner-friendly version, is because you don't really have to worry about obviously cycling through the ranges yourself, and you can just look at your target. The only downside to that is if you are looking at a target and you accidentally look past it when you hit the auto zero button, you might zero to a distance a bit further away or a distance that's a little bit closer. So it can be.
So it's not really zeroing. So that's interesting. It's a cool mechanic because it requires skill of like understanding distances and stuff. Yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds really cool. It's not zeroing that you do it with a regular weapon because that's a whole different thing. But it sounds pretty cool.
Be a little bit more error prone than the other two. So there are certainly upsides and downsides to all of the options, which is why we've provided them all. So that's weapon zeroing. It's not just another really cool feature we're adding to the game. It's all about giving players choice for equipping themselves out to overcome the obstacles and problems that they encounter out in the universe on all of these, crazy different environments that we've got out there. So I'm sure that tons of players will be using these soon and finding them really, really fun. So yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy playing with the new scopes.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that refining means the job is no longer done once you've just extracted all the minerals. That it aims to provide opportunities for occupations adjacent to mining. And that weapon zeroing won't make bad snipers good, but it should make good snipers better. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, so there's zeroing looks cool. I'm not really a big fan of the first person. I mean, not a big fan. I haven't really done first person shooting stuff in the game yet, so talking about my personal experience with it, no. But it looks like he was commenting on certain parts of like design of giving the player the choice, right? And in the last video, I talked about the giving the player enough rope to hang themselves with is the same thing. Like it's like they get to choose, right? Like choose within their budget, right? Of like, okay, I can pick this or this, right? And they can get used to that weapon or that mode, and know like or zeroing, right? And know like distance, right? Like because that's what it just seems like is that it's a distance thing of what the tilt of the anyway it's checking the distance, and it's gonna be that's interesting. We'll see how like it's interesting to think about the balance of it, because why not always go with an auto zeroing thing, right? Like is it because like the speed, or is it because of the like it's better, like the you can easily change the length like of what you're shooting at. I'm not sure. We just have to play with it in game and really see what it does, but it's super interesting. Like I didn't even realize like they were doing this stuff. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you haven't checked out the first video, check it out. Link down below, and I appreciate the time. And I know there's plenty of stuff on the internet about Star Citizen. I love it. I hope I think you guys love it too. And more videos to come. So like and subscribe if you can, please. And tell me what I did wrong or what I did right. I'm down for feedback. Yeah. So thanks for the time, and have a good day.